And now I want to see if we can try something. I want to see if we can try and have you create your own spaceship right there on the beach. I want you to imagine in front of you, what if you were to have a spaceship, how would you like it to look? It could look like the Jetsons style. It can look like Star Trek. It could look big. It could be any style you imagine your own a spaceship cruiser. So we're going to take a trip around through time and space, and we're going to make your own special space-time travel UFO, something like that. So I want you to tell me if you can imagine in front of you a spacecraft.
Oh yeah, I wanted one my whole life.
So tell me, what do you see?
I am so mad at myself because I can't remember the architect's name. There was a guy that would design these pod alien houses. People lived in them. They were actual houses in the 60s. There's not many of them left today, but it looks like that. It's like 60s futuristic, and it looks like a small kind of pod with circular windows, and it's silver, and it has circular windows around it, and around the circles are red, like the accents are red.
Beautiful. And does this look like a small spacecraft for a few people, or a large one for like a city?
Small, it's small.
Okay, so I want you to imagine yourself getting into the spacecraft, and tell me, how do you enter it?
Just like on the movies, there's a little shuttle thing that comes down, the steps, little door opens from the pod, and there's steps built in, and you walk in the steps. Up the steps are like 3 steps, maybe 4. Then you walk up into it.
So let me ask you, what does Nikki's spaceship look like? Is there music playing as soon as you walk in? What does it look like? And if it's not decorated, are you able to decorate it? And tell me how that looks, and explain to me as you go.
It is decorated to the nines. It is velvet on the inside, red velvet. Like the accents on the outside to match on the inside is red velvet. And whenever you stepped into the steps on the inside, it was into a conversation pit. So whenever the door shuts, there's like, you're in the conversation pit, and you can walk up out of there. But it's almost like wall to wall instead of carpet. It's like really nice velvet. And then inside the conversation pit, it is like a shag rug that's orange. It's beautiful. It's great. And there are these lights around it that are really warm. Like the lighting looks really warm, and they kind of just go around the outside. There's like tubing of some sort. It's like a pod, not a pod. It's like tubing that just lines it circularly the whole way, and that's kind of the light source. And it's lit up in there, but not in an abrasive way. It's kind of like this like orange glowing light in there.
Beautiful. So is there like a control panel to drive it, or is there like some type of a high-tech Siri that runs the ship for you?
You don't even have to do anything. Yeah, it just kind of runs it for you. There's not a control room or anything like that. It really is just a panel on a side where you can directionally change things, but there's not, it's kind of an autopilot mode. It's very, it's not something that you control manually.
So it's not like Star Trek. You don't have no cute little seat with the little driving wheel.
Oh, no seat.
No, okay. Interesting. Okay, interesting, because I was on a UFO that had orange shaggy carpet too.
Really?
Yeah, in one of my dreams. So I was like, very, very interesting. What about the walls? What do the walls look like?
The walls continue with that velvet about halfway up. It's kind of segmented at the halfway point of the pod to where the velvet goes up the walls to that point. And then the other half of the wall, which continues in the ceiling, it's just pretty plain. It's just metal, but it's like a It's silver on the outside, but it's not silver on the inside. It's almost like it's so weird. It's like silver and gold at the same time, not a glittery one, but it's almost like, I don't want to say changes back and forth to silver and gold. It's so hard to explain. It's not like it's like a silver and gold at the same time. Like when the light hits it, the lights make it like a warmer color. That warms up the metal. Like if you would have the lights off, it would be silver. Whenever you turn the lights on, it looks like gold.
Beautiful. Okay. Is there one level to this, or is there a couple rooms?
No, there's one level, it's just one big huge room.
Okay. So there's no like refrigerator, no snacks aboard, nothing to eat on there for you, or any drinks, beverages, bathroom, none of that stuff.
I mean, there's I feel like it's all like the Jetsons, like pills, it's not like you're getting a feast, you're sitting down at a table. Whatever is there, it is just simply, it's not for enjoyment, it's just to sustain you on this journey. It's not like you're eating a meal and it's comforting. It's just kind of like these little pill supplements thing that come out of the wall, and it will just sustain you for the time that you're there. But it's not some big elaborate like food or meal or feast or anything. And so then not a whole lot really comes out of you. I mean, you still have to go to the bathroom and there's a toilet, but it's kind of like a jail toilet. It's not like it's not cute. The toilet's not cute. It's purposeful. That's all.
Interesting. All right. That's cool. Interesting. Nice to know. Nice to know. Okay. So, all right. So let's see if we can take a ride on this journey. I want you to do me a favor and look at yourself. Have you aged at all since you've gone onto the ship? Are you a little older? Or I just want to make sure if I'm taking a kid on this journey, I got to make sure.
You say it because I do feel older now. I'm not little anymore.
Look down at your hands and your feet. What do they look like? Older or younger?
They're older, like I'm a teenager now.
Okay, cool. So I want to also try something. I want you to imagine that I am going to accompany you, and in a few moments, I'm going to be pulling up next to your UFO on a cool beach cruiser and a big purple hat, and let me know if this is possible, and let me know if I'm able to walk up and join you. So look out your window and tell me if you can see me out there.
In a big purple hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you see?
It almost looks like an Aerosmith hat with like a feather.
Really?
And then it looks like one of those, I don't know what they call it. They call it a side by side. It's some type of vehicle. There's 4 wheels, and it's very much like a beach vehicle, and it's yellow and purple. It kind of matches like your whole thing that you have on. And there's no doors or windows. It's almost just like these metal bars. Like I don't know what those vehicles are called. People have stuff. They cruise around. You know what I'm talking about? It looks like that.
And how does it look seeing me pull up there? How's that feel and look like for you?
I mean, you were just booking it across the state.
All right, so I want you to open the door, push one of your magic buttons and open the door and let me aboard so I can come with you on this journey.
Okay, come on up.
And I'll describe everything. Tell me what you're doing and if I enter.
Oh yeah, there's a button and it lets the door down. And then you get out of your car, or it's not a car, I don't know what the vehicle's called, but the boxy metal thing. And then you get up, you're coming up the steps and you board the ship, and then I push the same button and it makes the steps go up and kind of, secure us in there then.
So how does that feel seeing me? I want to give you a hug and a high five and all that. Do I do all that?
Yes, yes. Give me a hug.
Yes. All right. Let's go on a journey together. All right. So I really, really want to go back to ancient Greek times when they had these Greek gods, when everything was flourishing, these times. So we're gonna have you set the coordinates on your dashboard there to ancient Greek times, and we're gonna see if we can go through time and space and land in the times of the Greek gods, because I really want to try to connect with Medusa and find out her story. So that's the plan. And let's see what you do. Tell me what happens and describe everything along the way.
Okay, so we set the course for that. We set the course for Greek mythology and Medusa. And it feels like we're kind of just, we're going through, I guess we're going through time. It's just it just looks like specks, going past us. And then it just
Does it look like a tunnel?
it kind of looks like a tunnel. Yeah, like imagine, you're in outer spaces, you would normally think of it like darkness within stars. So these little specks of white, and then it just gets faster. So then it kind of like blur out, and then it just kind of slows down and like easily hesitates, and then gets to kind of like a stopping point. Are we supposed to do landing? We're gonna land.
What do you see out the window?
You can't see a whole lot. We're still up. It looks the same as before.
Do you see planets or anything like that? Stars?
I just see stars like specks, maybe they're planets, but they just look like specks. They're not really distinguishable.
And what am I doing while you're driving and us through this?
We're just checking it out, we're just looking out the window in awe of like,
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, it's neat.
Beautiful. All right, so we're gonna come to a time and place where we are there with the Greek gods and Medusa and them. So we're gonna slow down. We're gonna come to a slow and be there now, and let me know what do you see all around you, and give as many details as you can. And let me know when you're there.
Are we getting off the ship, or are we still on the ship? It's slowed down.
You can stay on the ship for we want to cruise around and see what we can see, and maybe we'll find a place to park.
Okay.
And we're going to keep our ship invisible. So we're going to make sure we're all invisible. Our ship is invisible.
It looks like an arch. It's just a vague shape right now. Looks like a hump, and then it goes down.
Is it like a doorway to go through?
Oh, maybe it is. Are we gonna go through it? Drive through it?
Yeah, try. Let's see where it takes you.
Yeah, there's kind of like fern things hanging. It's nice. It's there's kind of pillar things that are tall, and there's some furry things hanging. And there's multiple tiers of it's a structure. It's like a man-made structure with pillars and, you know, ferns are growing, like hanging plants are coming out of the top. And it's lush, like it's very green, like there's a lot of greenery around, in the man-made structure too. And it just seems like, and there's people, I mean, it's like a town. There are people there, there's like markets, it's a bustling little place. It's like a town or a city.
Do you see things like dragons or griffins or anything magical, anything flying in the air or anything around you, or what do you see?
I don't see anything like that, but there are like some people that seem to be significant. They seem to be scholars or oracles. The people look up to them. You can tell that they know something. I don't know what, but you can tell they're like somebody in high regard. They seem to be dressed a little bit better than the other people there. They seem to be it sounds bad to say this, but they seem to be like looking like the other people are kind of scroungy. And you can tell that they don't have a lot of resources, that their clothes are kind of as these people are just like learned men, you know, like they are, they have finer garments on and they just are kept up a bit better than the other people.
Mm-hmm. Do you see like normal people, or do you see people that are like giants?
They're just normal. They're just normal. Like the scholar men are not. They're just normal people. They're not giants. Yeah, they're just regular.
Okay, so I want you to. Are you still in the spaceship?
Yeah, we're still in the spaceship.
Okay, what are we doing in there right now?
We're just peeking out the windows, checking out the scene.
All right, so I want you to tell me. I want you to look at your dashboard there and tell me, does it tell you if you're in ancient Greek times?
I'm saying Greek times. I get the impression. I mean, it is ancient Greek times, you know, compared to Greece now. It is ancient compared to that. I don't know that we're as far back as whatever was going on with dragons and mythology as far as it being happening in the current timeline. It just feels like these scholar people know about this and they're holding that information. You know, they're keeping that information safe, but I don't think that they're witnessing it happen on that timeline.
Okay, so we're gonna try something new as well. On your magic dashboard there, I want you to ask it, who is here in this time and space that is significant, of importance that we can connect with? Who is here? Like, is this the time of Plato? I don't even know if that's in Greek, or like, see if it tells you, if you got to tap it, or, you know, use your imagination, how you want to find the answer.
I don't even know what this is or what this means, but it's like affected or something.
What's that?
Affected? Affected? I don't know what that means.
How do you spell it?
It's just I could just it's Ephesus, like I don't know how to spell it, or it's like EPH EPHETUS, something like that. Ephesus is what it's saying.
Is that what the dashboard is saying?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. So I don't know if it's literally
Right.
a person's name.
All right, well, let's ask it. Let's find out what that is. And on your magic dashboard there, you're going to see, and it's going to have ability to have an image pop up. And so you're going to ask it, who is this person? Show me who or what this is, and have it show you on a screen in front of you.
What is Ephesus?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's Ephesus? It's a person. It's a person. It's a guy. And people look up to him. People, yeah, he has a lot of knowledge. I guess he's just like a scholar and a teacher.
Okay. So what I want you to do I want you to have you and me get ready to go to deboard and go on the search to go to where this person is. And I want you to meet up with this person and have a conversation with them. So you're going to set your guys' journey. You're going to park your ship where it is, so you remember where it's at. It's going to stay locked and invisible so nobody can get it or take it away. And you're going to set a journey to go meet this person and tell me what happens along the way. I want you to see yourself going and just describe everything that happens along the way.
Okay. It is like it's a town. It's a town with commerce. They're making. It's like wine. I don't know if it's wine or dye. They're doing something with fruit or grapes where they're mashing it all up, and they're making this like they're taking the liquid out of it. So I don't know if that's like a wine or if they're using that for dye. Maybe get more of the impression is for dye than wine, and it's like I don't want to say village, it's an actual city. I mean, it's a city of that time. And there's a lot of stuff going on. People are selling goods and foods outside. There's like a market. I feel like it's a very bustling place. Like it's like the New York City of its time. And we're walking along and we're going to see him. And he is he's I don't want to say he's secluded, like he's kind of up in like the mountains, like a rock, like not in a cliff to where you have to like kill yourself to get there, but it's elevated, and where he stays is kind of it's like significant. Like people want they want everybody to know that he is like someone special because he very much is. He like has a lot of knowledge about just everything that's going on. So we're going up to his, I
So I
guess.
want you to look around and describe to me what is it that me and you are doing as we're walking, like in the moment there.
We're just looking at everything, and we're going to. I don't know if his house or like his school. I feel more like it's his school. That people come there for just to learn things for advice. It's not a school so much as a school setting as we think of it, but it's a school of sorts. And it's where he does his teachings, and that's where we're going. And it's elevated, it's built into the side of a cliff. They've used what is already there geographically to make this location, and the location itself also has some sort of significance. Like they wanted it to be specifically in that spot for some reason. I don't know why, but it was important that he was there in that exact spot. I don't know if it like gives some sort of power to something that he's doing, but it's like for some reason it had to be in that spot or close to it in that vicinity. And so we're going up there. It's not the side of a cliff or anything. I mean, this is just like
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, sorry, I lost you for a hot second. What was that? The last few things you said?
Where did it leave off at? About him being in. Okay, so we're going to his. It's like it's not a school, but it's what I'm going to call it.
Yep.
For like, it's school like of sorts of his, and it's in a spot that is highly significant. Like whenever he built this, the people were building it for him. It
Right.
had to be in this place for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Yes.
But it needed to be there, and we're going to see him, and we're going up. It's kind of a rocky terrain a little bit. Nothing terrible though, you can easily get there. And
Right.
then opening in the front of the building, there's no like door you knock on or whatever. And he comes right out, it's almost like
What does he look like?
he's tall, he's thin. He doesn't have like a very broad build or anything. He's cut, and he has like he's an older man though, but he's like a very refined looking older man. Like he looks like he has a nice jawline, and he has curly hair, like shorter kind of curly hair. And he's just very well put together, and it looks like he takes care of himself. And he's not mean in any way. I don't want to say stern. Like the look in his eyes is not overly like he's a bit reserved, but not in a mean type of way. Like he's a kind person. But he kind of has like a piercing gaze. Like if you didn't know him or didn't know his demeanor, you might kind of be intimidated by him because you don't like he has a lot of depth, like he obviously knows a lot of stuff, and you kind of can very much see that in his eyes. Whereas some people I would think would be intimidated by that because you're just like, wow, like this guy knows something.
He's probably psychic or an empath.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely psychic.
So you met him. Did he greet you like with the handshake, or did he say anything to you and me? Was he surprised to see you, or what?
It's almost like he knew that we were coming. He expects people to come. I don't know if he knew specifically you and I were coming, but it's almost like he expects people to come, and like that time, he knows people are coming. It's a place where people do that. So periodically, people will come to him to seek knowledge, and he kind of expects that. Like that's his role.
Beautiful. So what happens? Does he invite you in?
Yeah, he says hello. He's not a real big talker, this guy. I mean, he's careful with his words. He's very precise with his words. So he's not and that's why he's also refined. He's not bubbling over or anything, but he knows there's a place in life to honor people that come to him for like it's very much his place. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, let him know that, we come in peace and we love, honor, and respect him. And we just, he was suggested for someone to connect with, and see if he's got any messages for you, and let him know that we're seeking to find Medusa, and if he has any information regarding that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any information regarding Medusa?
And what was the reason for us coming to him as well?
Okay. What was the reason for us coming to you? Because he holds the stories. He's the story holder of these things. Medusa, he is kind of the light bearer, the knowledge bearer of these stories that have been passed down. Safe. He keeps them guarded. He keeps them going.
Beautiful. So does he want to tell you the story, or is he able to allow us to connect and meet her?
Are you able to either tell us the story or connect with Medusa so we could meet her? I've wants to tell us the story, but it says something about being careful connecting with her. I don't know
Really?
why. Yeah.
Ask him why.
Why do you say to be careful about connecting with her? She could be volatile. You kind of don't know what you're getting all the time.
Really? Huh. Ask him if we can together send love to her.
We send love to her. Yeah, he will send love to her.
Beautiful. Let's send love to her. I know that woman is going through it. Beautiful. Let's see if he'll tell us the story then. Do you want
Yeah,
to
can you tell us the story of Medusa, please? He's not saying a whole lot.
can you also ask him um, if he will wish to connect with us and share the story through you, if he wants to speak through you, and let him know that, you know, we respect him and we want to do this for the highest good for humanity.
Yeah, if you would like to connect with me to tell the story so we could tell the story for the highest good of humanity, if you would be willing to do that. Yeah, I get the feeling that it's older than most people realize. Like, she's very ancient. Like, she's lived like lifetimes. Like, this wasn't just like it was there's some sort of ongoing pain that's been compounded over just a very long time. Um,
Was it true that she had snakes for hair, or were they dreadlocks?
he's showing me something that's it's almost like they're coming out of the trees and onto her head. Is what he's showing. I don't know what that means. They're snakes that were like as if she was under a tree and they're falling out of the trees onto her head. Is what he keeps showing me over and over again.
Uh-huh.
So I don't think they formed from her herself, but it was almost like something put on her, which was like not good. Like it
Was it a curse?
it's this darkness. Yeah, she's showing me simultaneously like snakes coming out of a tree, falling under her head, and it's also this black mass. It's also a very liquidy black mass that is the essence, I guess, of what this thing is, and it's coming out of. It's almost like a blob. It's coming out, and it is forms a line, and then it goes into her and just kind of. I don't want to say overtakes her, but in a way, not like a possession, but it's weighing heavy on her. Whatever this is very much weighing heavy on her.
What does her body look like? Does she have a snake body or human legs?
She has. Oh, she might have. I don't know. I feel like it changed. I feel like this whole incident changed her. I feel like at first she was very much human, but whatever this is, changed her whole self, even physically. You know, at first she was a human and she had human legs. And then this black mass, and it's also, so the black mass is just energetically what this thing is. How it portrays in the physical realm is what we see as snakes. But energetically, it's a black mass. It's, yeah, I guess the best way I could just say it is some kind of curse, but it's even like worse than a curse. It's almost like this, I don't know. It's almost like, you know, in a sense, I feel a curse will impact you later. This is impacting her right this second now, from there on out. You know, so I guess it's a curse, but it's like an immediate curse. You know, usually someone says, "I'll curse you." It's like, oh, you're doomed at a later time. No, she was doomed right now. Like right now it happened and it never left. And it changed her physically. And then the snakes, yes, she was not, it did form to her head. And then also her body, like in the bottom of it became like like a snake type of thing too. I don't know what caused this though. Will you tell us what caused this? But she had wrath against somebody. She had wrath against somebody and they dished it out back. She was held on to anger. She was lashing out at somebody and she was just had a lot of wrath at somebody. And this is what they did to her.
So was she not raped at like 19 in the temple, Athena's temple?
Maybe that's, I don't, there's an ugliness there and I can't place what it is. It's just an ugliness. Something was done to her. I didn't specifically, but it could be right because it's just so heavy, you know, it's so heavy that and that does make sense that it's rape because it really changed her forever and she couldn't shake the ugliness that was on her. And that's
So,
also rape, because if you're raped, I mean, you have a lot of anger that stems from that. You have a lot of, you know, so that all does align with like because I just see things, you know, I didn't see the rape happen. I really don't want to see that.
right.
But so I think the way that it's coming through to me informs of something that's more symbolic. And I think that's what the ugliness was. And I think that whenever I saw her changing as into this snake, it was more symbolic than anything.
Okay. All right. One last question. Can you ask him if she actually turned people to stone, if that part was true?
Did she actually turn people to stone? She turned people to stone in the sense that they would get stuck in their lives. So it could manifest on a physical form, but more often it was just she had the ability to stop people in their place.
Interesting. Okay. Beautiful. All right. That sounds that pretty much sums it up. Is it true that that what was that guy's name? Perseus, or I forgot his name. Was it true that that guy went and cut her head off for, I forgot who it was. Was it Perseus? Can you ask him that?
Was it true that Perseus cut her head off? Is that what
I think that's his name. What was the guy's name that the history claims did it? I forget his name.
I don't know.
I think it was Perseus, something like that. I don't know. Let's see if he knows. He knows. He's got the stories. So let's ask him. And let's let him tell us what happened to her.
Yeah, what happened to her? Did someone cut off her head? Yeah, they did. They were afraid of her power. Yeah, they cut off her head because they thought that that would end it, that would stop it. And they were afraid. She's very powerful.
Did it stop it?
Yeah, I stopped it for some time, and then there's always talk and rumors after that of, you know, whispers in the streets of things that have stirred up that would happen, that they would be like, that's Medusa, you know. Like
really?
Yeah. And they kind of never really knew, like, is this still her coming back? And then people, it was very hushed because they didn't want to give that power. So, you know, they really tried to not keep up with the rumors. They always tried to silence, you know, just like keep your voice down, don't talk about it type of thing. Because they didn't want to give it power because they're very much afraid of her. People are very much afraid of her.
Interesting. Was she considered like a god? Like, did she have this power? Was she, I know Athena is supposed to have be a goddess. Can you ask him if they had, these um abilities?
She was considered, I guess you could say God. She was considered someone that had supernatural powers. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't think that I think they looked upon her with more fear than anything. It
Right.
wasn't God that you would worship. It was more of a God of like, oh man, what's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she had supernatural powers.
Can you ask him what happened to her body and her head? There's rumors that her head is under the Vatican, but can you ask him, does he know what happened to her body?
Oh, what happened to her body? Um, they burned it.
And her head?
No, they didn't burn the head.
Did they
What happened?
keep her head?
Did they keep her head? Yeah, they kept it. Someone kept it. Yeah.
Where is it under the Vatican?
Is her head under the Vatican? I don't know that it's kept at the Vatican, but it's in the vicinity. It's in that region. It's not, doesn't seem like it's specifically at the Vatican, but around, yeah, that geographical location, like around that area.
Are they using it to like harness her energy?
Yeah, they want to keep it because, she was like an anomaly and they want to understand how she had those powers. So they don't want to get rid of it. And they're trying to figure out, yeah, they think it's some sort of like harnessing her energy or the powers that she had. So that's why they kept it.
Wow, that's crazy. So she never had like kids or anything like that, right?
Did she have kids? No.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Well, let's see. Can you ask him if he can tell you anything about Zeus? Something
Well,
brief?
can you tell me anything about Zeus? What would you say about Zeus if you had to sum up Zeus? Um, he was big. He was larger than life. He was a giant and very powerful and a booming kind of voice. And yeah, he was definitely a giant versus other people there, even other gods. He was above all the rest. And it was kind of arrogant. Like it's his way or the highway. Zeus might be a Sagittarius. I'm just kidding.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. He's just, he's kind of up there and he knows it. And he just is, you know, he's one of those. It's his way or the highway.
Interesting. Okay. Let's see. What about Hercules? Anything we can know about Hercules?
Hercules was also a giant. He had a kind heart, though. He was softer. I mean, he's intimidating to look at, but he was softer. And he had a kinder heart, I feel, than others. I feel like he was very much a lover, like he was very, like a big teddy bear. Like he was very loving.
Very loving guy.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. What about let's see, what about Athena? What can we know about her?
Athena was a warrior. I just see her as strong. But she has something to do with birds or feathers or something. Something to do with birds, around her? I see like there's some sort of birds around her. I don't know what that means.
Interesting. Okay. What kind of birds?
They look like falcons.
Are they just hanging around her?
Yeah, I don't know if it's like one is her like I don't want to say pet, I guess a pet or like a companion of some sort. It seems like there's like a falcon bird that she depends on for something or other that like helps her. It's more like
Okay.
a worker of some sort, you know, like it's a
Mm-hmm.
partner.
Okay, let's see. Let's ask one more. What about Poseidon? Any information on Poseidon?
Poseidon, he's big too. He's very big and it seems like he's a bit of a lonely man sometimes. And but yeah, he has a good heart, I think. But he seems there's like a sadness of a loneliness to him for some reason.
Interesting. Well, we send him love too. Can you ask this guy, why does Poseidon seem so lonely?
Yeah, why does Poseidon seem so lonely? Um, he keeps himself busy, but I just feel like he's isolated in the sense of he's misunderstood. He doesn't, it's not that he doesn't get along with the other gods, but he doesn't feel like he's like part of their family in any way. Um, where the other ones seem more chummy with each other. He's kind of the outcast of all of them. And he feels that, and it kind of makes him sad. And plus, he's isolated more, you know. It's like he's under the ocean. He doesn't get a lot of visitors.
No.
No.
Is Aphrodite his daughter? Is there any connection there?
It's Aphrodite, Poseidon's daughter. Yeah, I think so.
I forgot. I really don't know the story. I need to brush up. All right. Well, that was beautiful. We won't spend too much time there. I could probably spend all day. That was beautiful. Thank you. Ask him if there's anything else he'd like to tell us before we go.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell us before we go?
Maybe about his times there or a little bit about him that we could share for humanity. So yeah, let's see what he'd like to say.
Okay. He's saying that the stories are very important because they're lessons and people should not forget the lessons. That's what he's dedicated his life work to, is keeping these stories, not only documenting them, but documenting the details in a way that is accurate. It's very important to him, he doesn't want these stories messed up. They have to be accurate and they have to be held that way. You know, that's his life's mission. That's all he wants. That is his life goal, to make sure the stories are accurate and kept going, that nobody forgets them because they're very important to humanity's history. So he doesn't want anything to be lost, and he hopes that people will continue on that legacy.
Beautiful. Um, let's see. I know that, we'll be able to have the transcripts and what he's conveying to you. So that's why I feel like it's important to ask him, what he would like for us to know. So let's ask him one more thing. Is there anything about history that he wants to set the record straight about?
Oh,
About his times.
is there anything about history that you would want to set the record straight that we in this timeline may have gotten wrong or misconstrued? Is there anything?
Because we don't hear a whole lot about Greek mythology and everybody thinks it never happened, so we'd like to know. Thank you.
Yes, we'd definitely like to know. So if you could let us know. You say all this is very real. Some of it is through symbology. So where things got messed up along the way, like the thing where Medusa would turn somebody into stone, it was symbolically, there's a lot of things that happen on an energetic level that are very much what do I want to say? It's very real, even though you can't physically see it. So the way somebody would sometimes describe it, and it kind of got screwed up over history, is people would put their spin on it and they would put a physical characteristic on an esoteric thing. So if you're energetically describing that Medusa would make somebody stuck, that can get like transmuted to, she turns somebody into stone right there on the spot. Well, really, it's not that she couldn't do that, but what she did more was she would make somebody stuck in their life. So, or she could, they weren't always physically like turned to stone in an instant with her gaze. It was like, she could stop them from progressing towards her physically, but then also on an energetic level too, she could make them stuck in their life. And mainly this was to not hurt other people, because she was so hurt and she didn't want that for anyone else. So she took her energy and she used it to, she saw somebody as a threat. She could make their life stop. Whenever I say life stop, I don't mean die. I mean, she could make them stop and be stagnant in their life so they couldn't aggressively go after other people. It was kind of just like I guess you could say like a time loop. Like she put people in a time loop of their life so that way they couldn't hurt somebody else. But the biggest factor over all of these stories, he's saying, is that a lot of things were like that. So the best way in words they had to describe that was that she turned somebody into stone. Well, everybody knows what that means, and you can convey that in someone's mind throughout history. And that was, the easiest way to convey it. But really, that wasn't happening exactly like it was portrayed. So just look at everything on a secondary level of how could this be more of a symbolic thing is still very much psychic and energetic what's going on. And that is what's happening there. But a lot of these things are more of the symbolism. Symbolism tells to describe something esoteric that's happening.
Mm-hmm. So is it kind of like she caused somebody to, like, say for instance, start drinking? Like, when, I don't know if you've ever been like,
You cut out. Are you there?
and you just drink. People drown their sorrows, they liquor or wine, because I know when we started, you saw something that had connections with wine, and I'm just curious, were those meant, was that meant to be there on purpose, or is there a connection?
Oh yeah. So what, you cut out a little bit. I'm sorry, I didn't hear the first part of it. I heard connection to wine, drown the sorrows, and something about being stuck.
Yeah, so when people drink alcohol, they always joke and say, oh, they were drowning their sorrows. They're always at the bar drinking. People drink it. It's like you get in a loop almost. It kind of puts you in that loop. Does she kind of do that to people? Like when they saw her, she pierced them like through the soul, like look at them, the gaze of the eye. right? And so like maybe her gaze was piercing, pierced through the heart. Like they claim like when people were around Yeshua and Cleopatra, people felt things. And I'm wondering, was she that type of person that people just felt things around her? And because of what happened to her and all of this, is part of the effect. I'm trying to understand it, and I'm also trying to understand how we are connected to her, like the feminine. Is there a connection there? Can you ask him all of that? Sorry.
Oh my,
See if he's listening. Ask him, did he catch that? See, are you listening to her? Did you catch that?
I'm so lucky you just unloaded on me. So, yeah,
He might have heard though. Ask him if he heard that.
yeah, he heard. So, people do feel things around her, yes. Because she's just so strong of a energy, people do feel things around her, but it's also on a level where she would direct these things too. Oh, I've seen, oh, well, it's cool. Wow. Okay, hold on. I gotta describe what he's showing me. It's like this, it almost is like, okay, point it, I have to remember the symbol. It's a, oh my gosh, sorry, I'm wrong. It's a symbol. It's an angle here, an angle up, and an angle here. Okay, I can draw it. I'll remember it. And there's this energy emitting out. It's this yellow, golden kind of energy that's just emanating from her, and it's just, it's a huge, strong force, and that's coming out of her. Is how he's showing it to me. So yes, people definitely, they can't help but feel things around her. It's like somebody, you could meet on the street and you might not even say words, but you feel them. She was like that with everybody she knew, everybody she encountered. People could very much feel her energy. Like, showing me it's just this, just radiating out of her in all directions.
Beautiful. Interesting. Awesome. All right. Well, was there anything else he wanted to add?
Is there anything else you'd want to tell us?
What about him and his life? Doesn't he want us to know a little about him?
Do you want us to know about you and your story, of you personally, and he's saying it's not that important to him. It's more of that all we really need to know is that he has been entrusted with these stories, and this is the most important thing to him. He wants us to concentrate on the stories. That it's not that it's not important who he is, but it's more important the stories, and that's his mission, and that's what he wants to convey.
All right, we'll ask him a couple more stories. Ask him about Pegasus. Is there to ask him if he could, what can he tell us about the Pegasus?
What can you tell us about Pegasus? I'm seeing like a white horse. And it's just so happy. I mean, it's just the spirit of joy in this horse. It's very joyous horse, just kind of running. Yeah, I mean, it's really just the embodiment of like happiness and joy. And you couldn't stand to be around it without smiling,
Beautiful. And what about griffins? I know that unicorns are hybrids with griffins. I know I have 3 friends out there. I'm wondering if they're willing to come forth and come say hi my 3 hybrid unicorn griffins. Let me know if they show themselves. I don't know if they will. They have to travel far to get to where we are. So I'm just curious, are they in that time and space?
Are there hybrid griffins in this time and space?
Unicorn griffins. Uh-huh.
Hybrid unicorn griffins in this time and space.
I actually think they're Pegasus unicorn griffins.
Or griffins.
Yeah.
I do see, like, you showed me an image of the griffins, like, swooping down to the Pegasus. And it does seem like they could breed. Yeah, I mean, it seems like they could. They're definitely like close, like they don't dislike each other, so I feel like, yeah, that they could.
Well, I know I met 3 of them that were hybrids, and I was just wondering if they were going to come forth and say hi. Oh God, I forgot their names. I think they did that on purpose. All right, let's see. What other magical creatures can he show you that we don't know about, perhaps?
What other magical creatures are there that we might not know? You said right away. You put this thing. It's almost like a little Nessie, but it doesn't have the body of a Nessie. It's a sea creature, and it almost looks like a snake, but it has 4 little or like a worm body, and it has 4 little fins, like where its arms would be, where its legs would be, but it's just these little tiny short fins that come out from it, and it kind of has like a circular mouth, like like with teeth in it, and it's like a sea creature that kind of, it's a cleaner. It goes along and it kind of is like a cleaner in the ocean. But there's a lot of them, and it was necessary to keep the balance of the ocean with those things.
Beautiful. Cool. What about mermaids? Were mermaids around in those times?
Well, that thing was like bright blue too. I mean, this thing is like a really cool, like yeah, it's like a really cool, deep, dark, bright blue. The worm sea creature things. Were there mermaids around? Were there mermaids around? There were sirens. He's showing me sirens that they were, yeah, sirens that were, I don't want to say evil in nature, but they were malicious. They're kind of like a succubus type of sea creature.
What does it look like?
They're kind of scary. And from certain angles, they're very alluring. I mean, they have these beautiful bodies. I can see why people would be drawn to them. They have beautiful woman bodies up top, and they're very kind of sexy, but like a demon sexy. Like whenever you see, if they shut their mouth and you don't look them directly in the eyes, they're like one of the most gorgeous women you'd ever see. But whenever they look at your eyes, it's all black, like no pupils, no whites, just all black. And it's just this like, it's then you can just see like through, you can see that they are just like this insatiable thing that will just take you.
And are their teeth sharp and pointy?
Yeah, their teeth are pointy. That's why I said don't open your mouth. Oh, please don't open your mouth. And they have like these long skinny fingers that have like pointy kind of, I don't know if they're claws per se, but they're nails or claws, where they're just very long and like pointy. Like everything about them is slender and kind of sexy and pointy. And from certain angles, it's gorgeous, but from other angles, it's like absolutely terrifying. Like terrifying.
What about their hair? Is it human hair or like jellyfish?
No, it's not jellyfish. It's like human hair. It's like human hair.
Really?
They have like hair too. Like it's not, I guess because their hair is wet, like it just kind of, yeah, but it's human hair.
Okay, so I was told that there's 3 types of mermaids. Can you ask him how many types of mermaids there are?
How many types of mermaids are there? What, do you want me to ask them what the types of mermaids are?
Just ask them if there's 3 different types of mermaids or more.
Are there 3 different types of mermaids? Yeah, I get the impression there's 3, but I can't see them clearly.
Well, I was told one looks, the ones that swim up top, they look more humanish. The ones that are in the middle, they look a little bit of mix or something, and the ones at the bottom look like lizards. They have that lizard face. They don't look human at all.
Hmm. I mean, he was just saying, I mean, what the visual I'm getting is just like 3 different chunks. So yes, I would say yes, but I couldn't clearly their faces, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's see what about people? Can you ask him about the different people?
What different people? Like what the human
Like,
people?
yeah, like what kind of different people were on Earth at that time? I know there were giants and like enormous giants. There was giants of all sizes. Can you see if he'll tell you anything about the different giants that were on Earth?
Oh yeah, can you tell us about the different giants that were on Earth and the people? So he's showing me giants that are very ogreish. I mean, they're kind of clunky. They have broad shoulders. They're very muscular. They're kind of, I don't want to say ape-like, but that's their structure. Like if you were to imagine um, an ape, how he's like bulky up top and like skinnier on the bottom, that's how the giants are structured. And I'm just seeing a man giant. I'm not seeing women.
Can you ask him if they were only men giants or if there was both?
Or they're only men giants. Well, he's saying this thing is like a cyclops.
Right. Yes, they were cyclops. Yes, but they were friendly. I heard. Can you ask them if they're friendly?
Yeah, yeah, they're not mean. I mean, they look kind of, like, scary if you'd see them. They kind of look like bummy to see, but no, they weren't mean.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm just seeing men. I don't know why there are no women or how they make more of themselves, but
Yeah. Let's see. If is there anyone else in Greek mythology or Greek times? So let's see. Can you ask him how did the Greek, how did they fall? How did the whole, like, what happened to their civilization? Like what happened to them? Did they? Yeah.
what
Let
happened
me
to civilization? They, um, I felt like it has something to do with their commerce. Like they were bustling, and it should have been a good thing. But for some reason, it was also their demise, their commerce, greed.
Was there some type of war or something?
Maybe that's why they wanted. So yeah, it's something that commerce where it was like out of control. Like people were jealous of that. They wanted what they had. And they were going to try to take that. They were going to try to take over because
What did they have?
they just had it. They just seemed at one point to really have it figured out, and they were thriving. I mean, they had a society that was making a lot of stuff that people wanted, and they were in a location that was central to trading with people. So it really worked out to their benefit, and that got them ahead of society because they were at this point of all these goods were coming from all different places. And so they just kind of had the world at their fingertips to where they had stuff coming from all around the world and they were learning. It's not just the money. I don't even know if I didn't ask about if there was coin money. It probably was, but it wasn't just about the material goods, it's also the knowledge that came along with this, that was super valuable, because whenever you're interacting with people from all over the world, like you're gaining all this knowledge too. So they were in their commerce, they're thriving in their knowledge of like learning all these things that their commerce brought from all these people around the world. And people were really jealous of that. And at some point in time, someone was like, well, this could be us. Why isn't this us? And somebody wanted to take that from them.
Was that the Romans? Who was around during their time? Romans were there, weren't they?
The Romans were there.
Or was it the Sumerians? Different time, same time? I don't know my history right now. I'm terrible at this right now.
I'm not great with certain things either, but no, it wasn't Sumerians. I would get the impression that it was I guess it would be the Romans, because what he's kind of showing me is that, yes, it was people that were just directed by a king or someone. This was coming at the hands of somebody that was like a greedy king that wanted this stuff, and they had an army and things like that. So that would make sense that it's the Romans, and that was directed by a king or something.
So the Greek gods, almighty and powerful, did they decide to leave this plane, or did they die like here on Earth? Like, what happened? Did they just ascend? What happened?
There's some sort of rules of engagement where they weren't allowed to just like step in and say, we're going to fight this war for you or something like that. They kind of had to back off, and just kind of let it play out. They weren't able to save them. They weren't able to save them. It wasn't their place to save them. A lot of them, whether they felt one way or another about it, it just simply was not their place. So they didn't. So yeah, they just kind of backed off, and they went to another realm. Like, they didn't die. They went to another realm. They're eternal. They're always there. They're eternal.
Beautiful. And what do they look like? Do they look like the images you see in the stories, or were they different colored? What were these different people skin colors like? Like the Greeks that you saw, the Zeus in them, did they look different in different colors, or do you remember?
Zeus was like a white person tan. Yeah, it have any different kind of colors. Who else were we? For some reason around Aphrodite, I'm seeing this like a silvery kind of golden, like a silvery golden mist. Like, her skin tone was almost like a silver, but not a drab silver. I mean, this was like almost an illuminating, sparkling, not glitter, but like a fuzzy kind of sparkly, silvery kind of color in Aphrodite. And Poseidon was like a bluish, blue color. His skin was blue. Who else did we?
Let me think. What about, did we ask about Apollo?
Apollo. I don't know what Apollo did, but he looks like an orangey kind of tone. Like, maybe just like a I don't want to say cartoon character, but he has a warmness about his skin tone.
Beautiful. What about Aries?
Aries is a reddish tone.
His skin is a bit red.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. All right. I'm trying to think. I had this written down, but I don't have it on me. Okay. Let's see, who else can I think of? Huh. I think that's it. So we're getting ready to come upon St. Patrick's Day. Does he have any messages for us for that?
Oh, do you have any messages for us for St. Patrick's Day? He's showing me like some kind of like I don't know if it's like some sort of like lucky money, I guess. I don't know what that means really. Are you saying like a some form of good luck and it has to do with something monetary?
That sounds good. Beautiful. I know it's a totally different time, but I just figured since it's coming up, why not just ask? Since
Right.
he's the information keeper, I'm pretty sure there was maybe something, who knows? I just thought, why not? Is can you tell me what are me and you doing there right now in this time while we're talking?
Oh, we were just standing there with him. We were just standing there, you know.
Yeah. Did he offer us any tea or refreshments or anything, or were we just standing there looking around?
We were just standing there conversing with him.
Cool. All right. Well, you want to tell him thank you, and we appreciate everything that he's told us, and we'll definitely make sure that the word gets out for the collective, and hopefully we can connect with him again in the future.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your stories with us and we'll let everyone in the collective know. We appreciate you.
And we send him love.
We send you love.
Does he have any last words?
He just kind of like bowed his head, like, you know, he appreciates us hearing the stories, taking the.
Is he glad we did this?
Are you glad we did this? He says, yeah.
Beautiful. Well, we appreciate him setting the story straight. We'll definitely look into his story. All right. Well, tell him thank you, and let's me and you walk on out and walk back to our little your spaceship over there. So take me along the walk, and as you're walking back to the spaceship, can you stop at one of the markets and with some of that lucky money, maybe me and you find something, a token or something that we can buy and bring back and keep it on your ship. So from now on, when we go on journeys, maybe we can have like a shelf of all our cool little stuff that we've bought along the way. Why not? What do you think?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go shopping with you, so why not? Let's do it galactic style.
Oh yeah, and there's all kinds of great things. I mean, there's just all kinds of just jewelry and there's the trinkets and I see something. It looks like they're metal castings and they're just like shelf sitters, you know. And they're just decorations. And one kind of looks like a very primitive looking sun that's like a circle. Excuse me, it's just a thing on a stand. It's a circle that's hollow in the middle and just some rays kind of going out haphazardly in all directions. And it's on a base and on a stand. And that's what I would like.
Beautiful. All right. What am I doing? Can you tell me what I'm doing?
Oh, you're looking at the stuff too. Yeah, you're right beside me and you're looking at the stuff. And we're just kind of picking up stuff and touching it and trying. determine like what's the thing that we want to buy.
What do I end up getting?
You have beads. It's a string of beads in your hand, and it's a circle that goes around, and then a strand and a strand. And they're like very fancy beads. It almost looks like poisson. It's like beads that have metalworking in them with multiple colors, like wires that go around the different colors of the or the different colors of the beads, like to separate the colors. They're very intricate beads.
Beautiful. Is there a special stone that it's made out of? Or what is it made out of? Do you know?
It's almost like a colored clay that basically turns into like as hard as glass.
Oh,
But yeah.
beautiful. Anything else we pick up along the way? Do they have food out there? Can we try some of the food?
Okay, what kind of food? Let's go look.
Okay. And walk along and just describe everything that you see
Okay,
and what happens.
Okay, we're walking to the next booth. And there is some food. We're just walking through, there's multiple booths with, different things to buy that are, like not clothes, but more like trinkets and jewelry, decorations. And there's some like dried flower type of things with like, looks like eucalyptus shoots or something coming out of it, like that are bundled up. Must be some kind of decoration. And like wheat stalks coming out of them. They're all dry. They're like dried flowers. And then after that, there are some people cooking on fire that you could have food. And there's it doesn't look good, but it smells good. So I'm gonna try it.
Ask them for a sample.
Yeah, but it's something that we know. It's like we know what this thing is and it is good. It's familiar to us, and we're
I
like,
say anything to you. Tell me what do I say if I say anything as well?
okay. But yeah, we're talking about this thing, and it's like, oh, that's the thing. Like we know what this thing is, and we're deciding that that's definitely what we're eating because we remember it. It's something that we've had before. I've never had it this timeline, but it's like, oh, it's gross looking to me. It's a piece of meat. It almost looks like if somebody would cut. It's a beef meat. It's not pork.
Oh, good.
Some kind of beef that imagine somebody would slice thin, and it's in a circle, and it's on a skewer. But you only get like
a gyro, my favorite.
Yeah, and
Yes.
it is kind of like the same. Yes, it's the same kind of meat, and it's like juicy.
Is it lamb? Ask them if it's lamb.
You know what? It might be because it's not as dry as beef. It's lamb. That's what it is. That's why, because I'm not a huge fan. I'll eat it in grape leaves now, but I'm not a huge fan. But that it is what it's definitely lamb. It's definitely lamb. But I mean, after this is the hot ticket here, so we're gonna get some. We got some, and we're eating it, and it's good. I enjoy it, and so do you.
Yay.
And yeah, it's like crispy on the edges. It's better than it looks because it looked kind of like too juicy to me for something I want to eat that was meat. But
Yeah, my favorite. Beautiful. So
yeah,
we got our hands full. What'd you say?
you're all about it. I mean, you seem really enthralled by this thing, and I think because you were freaking out so much, like excited about it, that I was like, oh, okay, like I'll eat it, and I guess it will be good. And I did eat it; it was good. So thank you.
Yeah, better than that pill on the spaceship, Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Well, let's get our little our souvenirs and our little snacks and stuff, and let's head back to the ship. And as we're walking along the way, just describe everything that you see as far as even walking up to the ship if you see it, and just describe to me the whole experience for you and me with you.
And we're just kind of finishing our meat on a stick, and just looking at all of the trinkets and stuff. I mean, the trinkets are lined up. It's a big long pathway. It's like a bazaar, and there's some rugs. There's some rugs that they have lined up too. It's kind of just like goods of all types. I didn't really see any clothes yet. Keeping an eye out for the clothes. I didn't see anything because we would have stopped at that.
Yeah, can you see if you can find me some purple linen? I need some purple linen.
Number. But there's drinks too. I don't know that this is it's some kind of beverage that they're scooping out of a big I don't want to, it's not a cauldron, it's not a pot. I don't want to say it's a punch bowl, a big like dish thing that's like metal and round. And there's some kind of liquid in there, and we can have that. I don't think that it's alcohol, but I don't really know. It's more looks like a juice to me. Maybe it's like some sort of like jungle juice stuff that's like alcohol and juice. Is what it kind of seems like, but it doesn't smell like alcohol. So I don't know if it's alcohol. It just seems like it's juice. Yeah, it's like a purpley juice. Maybe it's grape juice. So
I wonder if it's pomegranate juice.
Oh, maybe it is pomegranate juice. Because yeah, it was different than grape. But yeah, it might be pomegranate juice. Yeah, it's dark like that. Like the color is dark. But I was gonna say that too. It's different from grape, but I couldn't place it. So yeah, I do think it's pomegranate. It's not as clear as our pomegranate juice today, though. It's their process for getting it. I don't want to say dirty compared to our standards, but the water's a bit murky. The juice water is a bit murky, so I don't know. They're putting it through some sort of like wooden press that probably just is a different process than ours today. That's okay. But it's good. It's very good juice, and it's delicious. And we have some of that juice, and now we're going back towards the ship, and we're done with that. We're done with the meat, and we're getting back on the ship, and we're going to go up into the spacecraft and sit inside, and then push the button, and the door closes.
Beautiful. Now tell me,